You're listening to the Balanced Educator Podcast, episode number 107. Welcome to the Balanced Educator. We're your hosts, Kaylee
and Josiane from EduCalm. Our intention is to equip and empower you to feel more calm, balanced, and joyful in all aspects of your life.
Hello there and welcome. We are so happy to have you here with us today. All right, get ready to laugh until you cry in this episode. We have invited laughter yoga teacher Rolande Kirouac to teach us about emotions and the healing benefits of laughter. Rolande will lift your spirits as she did with me with her positive energy and get you laughing until your belly hurts. She also teaches us some laughter yoga exercises that we can do every day to get a burst of feel-good emotions and to help us feel more joy. We are so excited to share this uplifting episode with you today. But before we jump in, first we are super excited to share today's sponsor, Zero Waste Movement. Zero Waste Movement makes it easy for you to live a more sustainable lifestyle. They sell eco-friendly, sustainable products to help you reduce your use of single-use and plastic items and replace them with beautifully and durably made alternatives. I'm in love with their beeswax wraps, and they have this scrubber brush that is like the best scrubber for doing dishes. And they have lots of other great products that I really love. I use in my home, and they have stood the test of time for me, which is great. I also love that all of their products are plastic free. So I'm removing some of that plastic within my house. And I know that once these items do come to the end of their life cycle, they will return to the earth because they're compostable and they won't end up in a landfill. So to check out Zero Waste Movement's awesome eco-friendly products, go to zerowastemvmt.com. So that's Zero Waste MVMT, like movement without the vowels.com, and use the code EduCalm to get 15% off your order. All right. So excited to dive into this episode with you today. Enjoy. Hello there, Rolande. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hello.
We are so excited to have you on the show today because we are just going through a time where there's a lot of heaviness in the world.
Yes.
And we have connected with you a lot with EduCalm. We're often at the same conferences and things like that. And every single time that I have the pleasure of being around you, you just have this amazing energy. Oh my gosh, you light up a room. And I think I'm just so excited to share your awesome bright energy with our listeners today. So can you start off by telling us a little bit about you? How did life lead you to where you are today?
Holy smokes. Well, I'm 93 years old, right?
No, you're not. For a second there, I believed you. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like you would be the person that looks that good for 93 years old.
But I just like hearing, geez, you look so good for your age, But I loved your introduction, and thank you very much. It's so good to know that my energy does help. It does support people. It does do something. For so long, I thought I was, my own energy, and the responsibility for my own energy was for me, right? And if I was down, I was down. That's how I felt. And then I pushed forward and having children, being at home and growing up with my children. And I do say that we grow up with our children.
Yeah, I believe that.
Oh, yeah. And learning so much. And that wasn't an easy time in my life. It was tough. And even though I had been raised in a family where we laugh a lot, we've got really good laughter skills. And so we use laughter for good, not for evil. And we support each other, and we cry and we laugh. And crying is okay, and laughing is okay. And it's a good, strong culture in my family. I always say my mother is my laughter leader, and she's taught me so much. And I even wrote about her, and now she wants royalties. And I'm going, no, I wrote the book. You don't get the.
Oh, that's great.
And going through those rough times, realizing all of a sudden that my mood had an impact on the people around me, and it wasn't making my world, my internal world and my external world, any better. And so the focus and the energy spent into learning strategies, new strategies, adding on and bringing back older strategies, and giving I would say laughter and happiness some room in my life it was a very good decision. And as I started moving forward, went through divorce, all kinds of things, right? And that's what life throws at us, right?
Mm-hmm.
People say life's not fair. Right. It isn't. And it's just the way it is. So let's just roll up our sleeves and work with what we've got. And that was my biggest lesson in working with what I've got, and knowing that having difficult days was okay. What was not okay, it was never having those good days, not having those good spaces, those good times once in a while, and sometimes a lot and sometimes less, but still having them. And so going through this difficult time that we are going through, it's not to say that it's easy. It is not easy. And you're right to send this message out and say, listen, we know you're struggling, and we have to do something about it. We have to look at life as it is and acknowledge life what it is, but also knowing that we have to make extra efforts to really bring in those strategies that will bring a smile to our face.
Yeah, I love that. I really love how you talked about kind of the full spectrum of human emotion, that like they all have a place in our life. And I think that's something that I've really learned in my own life, and I'm learning more about myself. And I think it's really through my yoga practice that I learned to feel all of my emotions and not be scared of them. I just recently, like, my husband and I are going through the process of buying a house right now, which is like full of big ups and downs.
Are you crazy?
I know it's crazy, right? But everything's been falling into place so perfectly. It just feels like divine timing. Everything has been so nice, but we've had a lot of conversations about, like, not wanting to get our hopes up. And my husband and I are so different. I personally love getting my hopes up, even if I know that I could be crushed after, but I just I recognize myself. One thing that I just kept saying through this process is I love all the human emotions. I love feeling overjoyed. And if I go through a phase where something really sucks, I've learned through my yoga practice to feel those emotions and experience them without being scared of them. Totally. So that's such I think a skill that can really be developed through practice.
It is. And it's you have to live them and know that you survived.
Yeah.
To be able to make friends with our emotions. We're afraid of them because if we don't let ourselves feel them, and we don't give ourselves an opportunity to survive these emotions, get over them, and know that I can do this, right?
Yeah.
And so when I started doing my laughter presentations, right? So I'm a certified laughter yoga teacher. That came about right after my raising my children, right? Learning new strategies. And then I had this workshop. I would talk about our sense of humor and how important that is. And one day I'm doing research on the internet, and instead of researching the word humor, I researched the word laughter. And on my screen popped up hundreds of sites with information that I had never seen before. And it was research about laughter and how very limited it is. Laughter is the essence of our physical being. And it's not the same as sense of humor. Our sense of humor is our mind that is in a space where it can take in good things.
Right.
It's our sense, right? It's how we pick up. It's how we see the world. And through life, our sense of humor changes. Some days we see funny things, and other days we don't see them. Our sense of humor is not on. It's protecting itself. It's doing what it needs to do, right? But laughter has nothing to do with sense of humor. You don't need something funny to laugh.
Okay. Break that down more, because I feel like, what do you mean you don't need something funny to laugh? What does that mean?
So laughter workshops or presentations are based on our capacity to laugh for no reason at all. Okay? Hold on. Okay? So as children, we laughed for no reason at all. We just laughed because it felt good. You see children laughing and they're just sitting there and they're just right?
That just, when you said that, I had a flashback of like when I was a kid with my friends, and we would just get like a giggle fit, you know, you'd just be laughing because the other person's laughing and you're just rolling on the ground laughing.
Right? And we laughed because it was good for us. Yeah. Not because, something was funny. So it's from within, right? And so as children, right, when we see children laughing for no reason at all, we just look at them and say, oh, isn't that cute? Yeah. Oh, so cute, right? But you see an adult laughing, just sitting there and just laughing. You kind of, loony bin, right? You just, get the wagon. Call 911, right? Get them here because something's wrong, okay? And it's true. As we grow up, we kind of have mindsets that come in and play tricks on us that we have to reverse, right? So the old thing, grow up, okay? When are you going to start acting like an adult, right? If people ask me that question, I go, I don't know, because I don't know what I'm going to be when I grow up, right? I have a sign in my house, don't grow up, it's a trap, right?
I love that.
Right? The meaning of growing up means to be serious and sad, right? That's not a choice. That was a choice that I hadn't sort of made, but I made and realized, no, that's not the life I want. I want the life where you are light and lighthearted and you've got emotions and you deal with them and you get through them, and whatever life throws at you, you go, okay, is that all you have? Really?
Yeah.
Is that all you have? Right? And you tell them you tell life to bring it on, and then you crash and you cry and you isolate and you do all kinds of things, but you have to have laughter in there.
Yeah. How good does it feel? One thing that is a pretty regular practice in my family is we watch stand-up comedy. There's so much on Netflix, so many good stand-up comedians, and it just feels so good to sit and laugh. I definitely fall into the trap of being too serious a lot of the times, like being really focused on my business and focused on teaching. And I have to remind myself to like let loose and be silly. And just it feels so good. Okay. And we talked about the ups and the downs. Now, I'd love to maybe hear your opinion on this. It feels so good to have a good cry. Like I love when I feel bad, just letting the tears flow. I love having a good cry. It is the best. Sometimes if I'm feeling bad, I'll just watch a sad movie on purpose to like get those tears out.
Okay.
It's such a good release.
So this is what I think. I'll give you fact and I'll give you what Rolande thinks.
Okay.
Right? I think, all right, and this, we can't prove it, but I've seen this over and over, and just meeting different people telling me different stories. And I think emotions are all tied together. They're all tied together. They're not separate. So if you're not expressing one emotion, okay, nothing's going to come out. So that's why laughter gets blocked. You don't want to be sad. You don't want to cry, right? You don't want to release. Well, guess what's not going to happen? If you're not expressing the other emotions, whatever they are, and you're struggling with expressing them in a way that is healthy, just releasing, crying, and then moving on, then the laughter's not there. It can't be there. Right?
That makes so much sense, because it's almost like you're dulling both spectrums, both sides of the spectrum, and just holding yourself into that middle of that happy or sad, and and then you're an adult, and then you're that's the adult way of living, right?
they called it the phase in our life between the age of 30 and 45, the sad stage in our life.
Oh, I don't want to be that way. So tell me about laughter. How do I bring more laughter into my life?
First, I need to tell you about the tears.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. There are two types of tears. There's the happy tears and the sad tears. And they come out from two different areas. So one set of tears comes from the outside on your eyes, right? So your eyes on the outside towards your ears. And the other set of tears comes from inside, right beside your nose.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Think about it, okay? When you're crying so much because you're laughing so much, you're crying, where do the tears come from?
The outside? Yeah.
Right? And sadness tears, typically, not for everyone, but typically come from inside.
Oh, I've never noticed that before, but that's so true.
They analyze the composition of the tears, and they're composed of different chemicals. So what you say about sadness and the release, you are releasing these toxins. Same thing with laughter. We are releasing toxins. So the best cry you can ever have is the mixture of sadness and laughter.
I love that.
So think of funerals. When people cry, they release the person, and then they start telling stories, and they can't stop laughing. Oh, that's magic. That's
that just magic. Gave me goosebumps.
I know.
Yeah,
right?
That's just so healing.
Right. And that's what we're doing when we're releasing those tears, laughter and sadness. We're healing, right? We need to laugh and we need to cry.
Yeah.
Now ask me that question again. Oh, laughter yoga.
Before we jump into laughter yoga, I just want to touch on the point that I've heard before that there are, when we're crying, like you said, there's chemicals that we're releasing. And I think one thing that I always try to remind people of is that emotions are actual chemicals in our body, because a lot of the times we think of emotions as this kind of like airy fairy sort of thing. Like in the world, we often don't give weight and reality to emotions, but it's a physical thing that happens in your body. It's a physical cascade of chemicals, hormones, physical, visceral reactions. Like it's real. It is a real concrete thing. So yeah, that getting those out, and just like we have to digest our food, we have to digest our emotions. Right. So now tell me how we can digest our emotions with laughter yoga. I've heard of laughter yoga, but I've never tried it before, and I want to know all the details.
There we go. So laughter yoga started in around 1905. That's like a long time ago.
Yeah.
Really. And by a doctor in India, Dr. Kataria. He didn't start this by himself. He was very, very lucky in that as a doctor, he noticed that a lot of his patients, the ones that were healing better, not healing, because laughter doesn't heal you. It helps you heal better. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now he noticed that the ones that were healing better were the patients that had laughter in their lives. His wife, Madhuri, she is a yoga master. She knows all the techniques, and so they worked together to develop laughter yoga. Now, laughter yoga is more laughter techniques and with stretching and deep breathing incorporated, okay? Because with laughter, the teachings are that there are 3 levels of laughter: the he, the ho, and the ha. And so the he right?
Yeah. Okay, this is so contagious. I can't not laugh when you're laughing. I'm like trying to.
So that's and listen to the breathing. Okay, very shallow.
Right.
Okay, so I'm looking for laughter. I'm listening for laughter that's a bit more shallow, and the therapeutic laughter goes right into the diaphragm. Okay, so ho is in the lungs. Okay, so. Okay. Now
it's your Santa Claus laugh.
Right. But Santa Claus actually does full diaphragm, and that's why it's so contagious.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, full diaphragm. You ready? Okay.
Yes.
So. Okay. Did you hear the snort?
Okay, I'm crying already.
All right.
Okay, so is the diaphragm laughing the kind of like I just recognized, and I'm standing up right now because I knew this was going to be a fun interview, so I put my stand-up desk up. But I was doubled over laughing just now.
Yes.
Is that how you know you're in your diaphragm?
Oh, you know you're in your diaphragm when it's that movement that's almost like you're not controlling anymore. Air's going in and out, and it feels so good, right? And that's when your body temperature starts to change, your heart rate starts to change, but at that point, right, it's making sure that you're letting that air go in, and that's where the stretching, right? And so when we're doing a laughter class, we're incorporating stretching, deep breathing with different little exercises, and then we get to the longer ones, right? So we start with saying hello, right? But in the laughter class, you don't say hello. You try and minimize the talking as much as possible to release that brain, right? And just be. Right? So we invite everyone to just shake hands and laugh together. and then you get the look like people go, really? I can't do that. I can't do those things. And when people are first experiencing laughter yoga, their mind keeps, and I teach about that as well. Just let your mind experience it, right? And tell your mind it's okay. I might look silly, and that's okay. Right? It's okay, right? Just try it out. It's like anything else. You ride your bike for the first time. I'm sorry to say, the first time you rode your bike, you didn't look good. You did not look good. You looked like a mess, right? Well, the first time you do these exercises, you're kind of going, right? Make these awful sounds. Everybody's laughing, and you're going, why are they laughing, right? 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 You feel inadequate because you're just not good at it. Well, of course you're not good at it, right? It's your first time. Leave me alone with those judgment things, right?
Right.
And so we just shake hands, and we laugh with the person. So people go up and shake hands and go, and it's the contagious part of it that gets it going. So I listen to you, and you make me laugh. I make you laugh, and it goes back and forth. I once did a laughter session in a room where there was 300 people.
Oh my gosh. That must have just been amazing.
And I had planned for 20 exercises, right? I had an hour.
Yeah.
I got through 10 of them.
Wow.
Because people would start laughing, and then one part of the room would stop laughing, and the laughter would move to the other side of the room. See the wave at those sports events, right? And then boom, laughter would come back, and people would start laughing again, and we just keep going, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's quite, for me, having had the opportunity to learn about laughter yoga and teach laughter yoga and put on all these presentations on laughter yoga. I really feel I'm very privileged. I feel very privileged. People have shared with me stories, sad stories, really. I was putting on a laughter session, and it was a group of about 30 people. And this one lady sort of was standing in the back, and she wasn't really participating. And, I learned to just let that be. People all have their stories and reasons for not laughing. And we have to be okay with that. We really have to respect how people are incorporating laughter and how they're expressing laughter, because we all have our own recipes. Anyways, at the end of the session, she came up to me and she said, "Thank you very much. I haven't laughed for 7 years. And today I laughed." And of course, I say, "Why haven't you laughed for 7 years?" And she said, "Well, 7 years ago, my daughter took her own life."
Wow.
And I thought to myself, you know what? I don't think I would be laughing if that happened, right?
Yeah.
And so I asked her, "Well, do you feel that your daughter would be okay with you laughing?" And she says, "Definitely. Thank you." Right? And so we can't sit in judgment of grouchy people that are more closed in. We can only express our stuff the way we do, and just remember that it is contagious. And if they're ready to step in, they'll step in. They'll join us, right?
I think that's the best advice that can ever be given on how to help other people with their emotions, is just by embodying the emotions yourself, because that's just an invitation for them to join you without it being like a judgment, like you said, on how their current state is. You can bring people up to your level, not by force, but only by invitation.
And in your introduction, you said that, I light up a room. My mission in life is not to light up a room. My mission in life is to manage my life and keep looking for avenues and ways of expressing all the emotions, but mostly to be working really hard on happiness. One of the things that has manifested itself through all of this is that I developed all kinds of tools and presentations, and I do some keynote presentations and workshops. And I finally sat down and developed a workshop called Happiness at Work. And this is through Achieve Training. This is a little pitch for them.
Yes,
but it's also, we share the content. But they gave me the opportunity to sit down and write it out, and I gave myself the space to do it. And I developed something really cool, and it's a workshop that can go into people's workplaces. And threw in there a lot of the learnings, and realized that I had picked up all these different things that I sort of got to package and pull together and to help people out, really, because if it works for me, it might work for you, right?
Yeah.
And the only thing I can do is offer an offering of ideas, and it's like a smorgasbord. Try this, try that, right? It's all I can do, right?
I love that. That is so great. So I am now very curious about maybe some of some laughter yoga exercises that our listeners can try at home.
Okay.
Especially, teachers were used to being in front of a classroom, moving all day, and now we're all stuck in front of a computer most of the day, all alone. We tend, as teachers, a lot of us are social beings. Some of us are enjoying this opportunity to teach from home. But what are some exercises we can incorporate into our day when we're feeling stagnant at our computers?
and your mind is no longer able to search for strategies. So it becomes time for your body to just do it, right?
Yeah.
I compare that to, you're sitting on the couch and you're thinking, I need to go for a walk. I really, really need to go for a walk. Yep, I should go for a walk. Do you feel like going for a walk? You don't feel it. You feel nothing, right? But if you just get up and go for a walk, you're going to start feeling like you want to go for a walk. It's only by doing it. And that's sort of the trouble, and where we get in trouble. We're not capable of thinking ourselves to do something. We just have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And to learn to do that with your laughter skills, with your smiling skills, is to just do it, right? So in the morning, when you get up, if you're used to seeing this sourpuss face in the mirror, and during this pandemic, this could be happening, okay? And I saw myself this morning and I went, ah! Like, oh, eesh. I think I've forgotten to do my exercises, right? And what happens as we get older, and like I said, I'm 93 years old, right? and so I don't know, people that are older and listening out there, have you noticed on your driver's license, every year you have your picture taken, and every year the smile, the lips, they're drooping, they're falling, they're just falling, they just sit there, right? And as we get older, it just droops. It's not just certain parts of the body that start to droop. It's the whole thing. Your ears are saggy. Your lips are you've got a frown. You're wearing a frown. All right, and you'll hear it. People will say, "Are you all right?" And you're like this. I'm fine. I'm okay. Okay. Well, that means you have to start doing your smile push-ups, okay? And so smile push-ups are just look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and do some smile push-ups, okay? So you just smile all the way, right to your ears, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you do 8 smile push-ups, okay? And 3 reps. 3 reps.
3 reps of 8.
Okay? And you're just, okay. Or if you start noticing, you go to a family event and everybody's taking pictures, and it hurts. Your cheeks hurt. You go, oh, well, honey, you're out of shape, right? You're just out of shape. Do your smile push-ups. It's not complicated. Just push. Okay. Keep doing that, and sure enough, it's gonna lift. And you're gonna look younger and sexier.
I love that.
You are.
$0. Just gotta smile at yourself in the mirror. Okay. So now tell me, as you're smiling at yourself in the mirror, what is the phrase you're saying in your head?
Anything that works, right? Oh, honey.
Hey, beautiful.
Oh, hey, sweetie. Right? You go. You point your finger and. Can you cluck?
Yeah.
Let me hear you. Come on, let me hear. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, so I'm gonna start this tomorrow. Absolutely. So I'm gonna wake up in the morning. I'm gonna get in front of my mirror. I'm gonna smile at myself, almost like a crazy person, smiling at myself while I say, "Hey, beautiful." 8 smiles, and then 3 reps of that. 3 reps of 8 big smiles.
And I have 2 more exercises. Okay. So this one is called the 5 steps. This is to help you transition from something that didn't go well, right? So you're coming out of a meeting or you've been on the phone with someone, it didn't go well, and the phone rings and it's somebody important and you have to flip that. You need to flip that mood, okay?
Right.
You do the 5 steps, right? So 5 steps. Smile, look up, stretch, inhale, exhale, and say ha. We're going to do it together.
Okay.
Smile. Look up. Stretch.
Stretching my arms up.
Stretch. Touch the sky. Inhale. And exhale. And say, ha. I didn't hear you. Ha. Ha. There you go. That's it.
Okay. I hope our listeners are enjoying my weird sounds today.
Now, 5 steps. Smile. Look up. Just look up. Okay. Stretch. Open up your body.
So am I looking up just with my eyeballs or with my whole head?
Try tilt the head back. There's something physical when that happens. When we're depressed, we're looking down.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Friendly Giant was right. Look up.
Look way up. I haven't thought of that in a long time.
So this is for transitioning from something difficult, Okay.
Mhm.
Kids are coming over. You're not in a good mood. Get this going, right? And it's the inhale, and just,
Ah.
and just to get that bad air out of your body and to be
Mhm.
doing a little bit of diaphragm movement. And the
Yeah.
brain all of a sudden is thinking, oh, it's not so bad.
Mhm.
And so the brain's going to start moving. Remember
Right.
sitting on the couch, there's no movement,
Mhm.
okay? No hope, nothing positive. All of a sudden, shift, breathe, inhale, exhale, movement, okay?
I like that.
The second one is to just get rid of stress. It's called the lion laugh, okay?
Love that.
Okay. And so you're driving around and you get pissed off at somebody who cuts you off, and a little bit of road rage, as if we don't all have just a little bit of road rage,
Yeah,
just a little bit,
we all
right?
have it.
So we all have these things. If somebody cuts me off, oh, no signals, son of a gun. I'm just, right? So I tried this. I knew about the laughter, the lion laughter, and I tried it just to see if it would just help me release that anger, just get rid of it. Because some anger is not useful, it's not timely, and really, do you really want to go through this or do you want to let it go? Well,
Mm.
this will help you just release it, all right? So here's what we do. First, you put your fingers, just index fingers behind your ears
Behind your
and
ears.
massage
So kind of
just
that
behind
spot
the
like
earlobe.
behind your
Right.
earlobe. So like
Yeah.
next, like I can feel my jaw
Yeah.
bones as I'm massaging
Just
there.
lightly massage and your
Okay.
jaw's going to drop. And this is your warm up for the lion
Mm.
laughter. Just okay.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then
can
just
feel those muscles
see?
like relaxing. That feels
So
really good.
so I'm driving around and I'm getting really upset. I get to a red light and I go, okay, massage. Let your jaw drop. Just and now stick out your tongue. Okay, good. Now stick out your tongue and push your lip, your bottom lip. Stick it in there. Okay, between your
Okay.
teeth and push up. Okay?
Ah.
And stick out your tongue all the way out again.
Ah.
Okay, wipe up the spit. Good. Okay, now you're ready for the lion laughter. And lion
Okay.
laughter is just this, all right? You stick out your tongue as far as you can, let your jaw relax, all right? And you're going to roar and laugh.
All right.
Okay?
I'm
See the
ready.
combination? Roar and laugh. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Stick out your 1, 2, 3. Okay? So you just roar and laugh. Release it. It's useless. Let it go, right? So I'm doing this. I'm sitting at the red light and go, and I look over and there's a car beside me and he's staring. So I looked straight at him and I went, Well, he never cut me off again. Just let me go, right?
Oh my God, I cannot imagine just being next to you in a car and you looking over at me with that face.
So if it's not useful, release it. And that's sort of a big message in life. Really, this is not useful. I'm getting angry because somebody cut me off. Really? Are you going to die here? Right? Let it go, release it. So some of these negative energy can be released with laughter, the roaring and the laugh. But remember, this is about wanting to laugh. So you can't start roaring and keep roaring. You have to start roaring and incorporate laughter, and your mind is going to shift. It's quite amazing. I encourage everyone to try it.
I love that. I feel like just by doing the lion's breath,
Mm-hmm.
it just makes you laugh. I often will do lion's breath when I do workshops in schools with kids, and then it always ends in everyone laughing. And that's the reason that, and now I understand why. I always ended up doing that. It's because we would do the lion's breath. It looks silly. It sounds funny. And then everyone ends in laughter.
Exactly. And
so
everyone
healing.
has sort of shifted their mindset, right?
Yeah.
It's our mindset. What is it set to? And we can flip it around. We have control on that. Our mindset, we can, but it needs a little bit of physical movement, deep breathing. Sometimes a smile triggers something in the mind, right? And so we are used to seeing the negative in the world. We were brought up that way. It's instinctive. We have to see negative in order to protect ourselves. So that's natural. What's not natural is looking for happiness. So that has you have to practice that. It has to be something that, that's what I learned. It won't come by itself. I have to work at it. I have to do these exercises, and I have to go for walks and force myself to see good things. I see the negative things right away. Where are the good things? And that's something that I have to physically and emotionally practice constantly to be able to maintain that capacity to be able to move on.
That's so beautiful. And I think a lot of the times when we are in a bad mood or we are feeling down, we can get really intellectual about it and try to think our way out of the bad mood. But what you've taught me today and through just doing these laughter exercises, like I feel so good right now. I feel light. I feel energetic. I'm like, I can't wait to get all the work done after this interview. I'm going to get everything crossed off my list. Like I'm just feeling great. And that movement with the physical body is like unlocking this key, like you said, and changing your mind and shifting your energy. I love it.
You've got it.
Love it. Awesome, Rolande. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us. I cannot wait to share this interview with our listeners. And for those 3 exercises that you shared with us, listeners, I'm going to record some videos of me doing this. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to get it up on Instagram. So if you listen to this episode and you're going, I don't quite understand how to do this, I will have some little tutorials for you on Instagram. So go find us on Instagram at EduCalm. So Rolande, I know that our listeners are going to want to connect with you after this. What is the best way for them to get in touch with you?
The best way and the safest way is through my email address, to send me a note, and then we'll figure out what's going on and how I can help if I can help. And if not, I refer and I find good people. But the email address is rkirouac, RKIROUAC @mts.net.
Perfect. So if our listeners, we have a good amount of listeners here in Winnipeg where you are based as well. So if they want to do some laughter yoga or bring you in to do a laughter workshop at their school or something like that, they'll just send you an email.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you again so much. This was so much fun.
Thanks for having me. This has been very, very enjoyable.
All right. I hope you enjoyed listening to that episode as much as I enjoyed recording it. Definitely your exit ticket for today is to try those laughter yoga exercises. So Rolande taught us the smile push-ups, so smiling at yourself in the mirror in the morning, the 5 steps, so to help you move from a bad mood to a good mood quickly. You smile, you look up, you reach your arms up like in a nice big stretch, you take a deep inhale, and then you make the sound on your exhale. And then the last one was the lion laugh. So with that one, you are sticking out your tongue as far as it can go and making that roar sound and then laughing because it sounds hilarious. So if you want to take a look at me doing these exercises, check out our Instagram. I will put up some videos there in case it isn't quite clear to you how to do this. And please, oh please, if you're trying this out and you are willing to share on Instagram, tag us so that we can see you doing this too and we can all laugh together. You can find us on Instagram at EduCalm. So that's EduCalme. Again, EduCalme. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with someone that you think would get value from it too. All right, teacher friends, thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Have a wonderful week.